Our ideal client is somebody that sees the value in service, relationships, just knowing that they're going to hire a company that's going to do the right thing. That's what we look for. We're not going to be your cheapest price. I came as a guest. In that one guest meeting, I did about 80,000 in business at one lunch meeting, just from a few of the connections that I made. Stop looking at the people around you. Stop looking at your competitors, your neighbors. Focus on your mission and your plan. That's all that matters.
Welcome to another amazing interview with the Executives Association members. Today we have Vincent Malizia from A1 Roofing. Vincent, thank you for joining me today.
It's a pleasure, Joe. I always love jumping on a call with yourself.
Appreciate that. So can you tell us a little bit about your business, your role, the kind of clients and industries that you work with?
Yeah, so I'm one of the owners of A1 Roofing along with my brother, John. We're based on Long Island. We cover the tri-state area, mainly for commercial roofing. And some of our clients are Tanger Outlets, Simon Malls, and we also service a few colleges in the tri-state area.
So what do you typically do for these clients? Like, who is your most ideal client and how do you add value to them?
Yeah, so I mean, most, if not all people own a roof or rent a roof or have some type of a roof above their head. And most of them have problems, which is good for us, right? So, but our ideal client is somebody that sees the value in service, relationships, just knowing that they're going to hire a company that's going to do the right thing. That's what we look for. We're not going to be your cheapest price. We want to show you the value in going with a company like A1 Roofing.
Okay, so you're not going to be the cheapest price. You're a value-based provider. You give really, really good value. And like if somebody was looking out for a client for you, what would you say would be a good referral to give you?
Yeah, so a good referral for us is somebody that has a roofer that they're just not happy with, right? They're not fixing the leaks. They're not communicating with them. For us, we like to take before photos, after photos. We send them full job notes, job description, because most people don't go up on their roof. So we really try to school them or educate them on what's going on. An example is Stevens Institute in Hoboken. That's a college that we service. They had a roofer coming out. They had leaks. They would fix it for a few $1,000s. Rain would come, it would leak again. They'd come back out, charge them a few $1,000s more. So what we did was we looked at all their buildings and we said, all right, these 3 buildings are in really bad shape. This is what we're proposing so that instead of spending $20,000 every time it rains, we'll go ahead and put a new roof on and eliminate this. And these other buildings, we could just do a little bit of maintenance and we'll buy you another 5 to 7 years on them. So, they went from probably 40 to 50 roof leaks to 0. So I worked myself right out of a job. But the point is, we schooled them, we educated them, and we look at it as a long-term relationship where, hey, it doesn't make sense to spend $20,000 on this repair because it's not going to hold. So we're not looking for the short term, put money in the account. We want to build a long-term relationship that we're servicing them for 10, 20 years.
And it sounds like a lot of the members of the Executives Association also kind of have that like attitude where price is not the most important thing. We're not the lowest cost provider. We're more focused on quality and safety and reliability rather than just, the 99-cent store of roofing. Do you feel like that's the attitude in general?
I do. And, when I first joined the execs, that's like one of the biggest takeaways that I got. Normally you join these new networking groups or opportunities and you have a lot of people that will make promises or say things that they never come through on. And to me, that drives me nuts. Like if you say that you're going to do something, I will hold your feet to the fire in a respectable way. But if you tell me you're going to make an introduction to me or whatever it is that you say you're going to do, I really hold you accountable to that. And that was the biggest thing that I found. Like when somebody would say, hey, I'm going to connect you to this person, they did it. And not only did they connect you, but the person on the other end, responded back, which was a whole other thing. So the relationships are so genuine, and together we're able to accomplish so much more because it's a team, right? A lot of us are in the service industry, so you need an elevator company, we have Champion Elevator. You need a restoration company, you have ServPro. You need a roofing company, you have A1 Roofing, right? We need digital marketing, we have Joe. I mean, there's just so many great partners in our organization. So to me, it's just been a game changer.
Can you share something personal about yourself, a hobby, a passion, a value? I know that you share a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. You're very active on LinkedIn, especially since we work together on your strategy to launch your newsletter and everything. And I love what you're posting. You share a lot of personal stuff. But could you share some personal stuff about yourself so people can get to know you on a deeper level?
Yeah. So, one of the things I'm really passionate about is like helping people, giving back. We started our own nonprofit, A1 Cares, in 2023. But I do have people on LinkedIn that will message me privately and say, you're always posting all these great things. Like, does anything bad happen in your life? Or why are you always so positive? And typically I'm gaining more followers than I'm losing, but my whole mindset behind what I post is that there's so many people struggling out there, whether it's, with the job they have or the relationship they're in or their kids. And I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life and my career. And my whole mindset was, if I can make a post that's going to make somebody's day better, then I'm going to go make that post. And if I had 100 people unfollow me, but one person's day was changed, that means a lot to me. So, again, with my nonprofit, I'm very passionate about helping people, but it's not always just about financially helping people or cutting a check. It's really more about raising awareness and maybe being a lending ear or donating time or volunteering time at a soup kitchen, like just appreciating what I have and trying to help others and elevate others who are not as lucky or blessed as I am. So that's important to me.
I love that. Can you share a little bit about your family? I know that you're very passionate about your wife and your beautiful daughters and your life as a family man. Can you share a little bit about that? Yeah,
so I married my wife, Danielle, that we started dating when I was 16 and she was 14. We've been together for, 25 plus years, married for almost 15. We have 3 beautiful little girls, 5, 7, and 9. I have Sienna, Talia, and Daniela. And, everything I do is for them, right? It's, I try to do the best I can as a father and just show them what life's all about. And I try to bring them to some of the stuff that I do, like my toy drives, and bring them to the hospital visits and just let them understand that, listen, we're very blessed and not everyone is as fortunate as we are. But yeah, they mean the world to me. So, again, that's like one of my probably greatest achievements is being a dad. And I'm definitely not the perfect dad, but it's something that I strive to be. So that's again why I do everything that I do.
Can we call you the roof daddy? Okay, so yeah, call me the roof daddy. I have a question for you in terms of like Executives Association. How did you first hear about it, and what made you decide to join?
So I first heard about it, I don't know, it was probably 6 years ago. I had a good friend, Joe Capone from Total Fire Protection, who's actually no longer in the group. He invited me to come as a guest. I came as a guest. In that one guest meeting, I did about 80,000 in business at one lunch meeting, just from a few of the connections that I made. I applied to get into the organization, which there was a conflict with another contractor, so I was denied. And I was denied 3 or 4 times as I applied year after year. But I am very persistent and I continue to apply, and they finally let me in. And it's, like I said, it's been great for my business. It's been great for my company. It's been great for my personal life. And since I've joined, every year since, I've done at least 6 figures in business.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So you're getting some really good results from the organization. And even from day one, you had a hard time getting in, but once you got in, you continued to generate actual revenue from the business. Was there someone specific other than Joe Capone? Was there anyone specific that has become a true center of influence for your business? Someone who consistently refers business and supports you?
Yeah, so Jesse Berland from Safety Facility Solutions, he's made a few really nice introductions for me that it's created a relationship and another platform for my business where I've probably brought 3 or 4 very large clients in that I still work with to this day. Don Gelastino made a connection to Stevens Institute. We've done really well with that. Adam Stein, we did some nice work for him on Long Island for a really big client of his. So, and there's many more, but yeah, it's just been really great relationships. I can't stress that enough, where it's just so genuine, so organic, and it's fun. It's fun to be around the execs members, and even their clients are just good, fun people that at the end of the day, they want a fair price for the right job, and it all works out.
If you had to describe the Executives Association, EANYC, in one sentence to a peer, what would you say to your peer?
If I had to describe it in one sentence, I would say this is an organization where you're going to make great friends, you're going to elevate your business, and you're going to have a great time along the way.
And thank you for sharing that. You're a member of YPO. You're also a member of the EO, Entrepreneurs Organization. What would you say is the difference between those types of organizations that are CEO organizations of companies that are doing millions in revenue and maybe the Executives Association? Like, what would you say is the difference between the two for someone wondering?
Yeah, I would say that, first, my brother's in YPO, I'm in EO, which they're very comparable. EO is more of working on the business and strategizing on how to maybe deal with certain issues in your business. As far as the executives groups go, I think that's more geared towards elevating your revenue, creating new relationships, meeting new clients, and then also meeting great partners that you can really, like for myself, like I partner with, as far as like if I go into a building, I can bring 6 to 8 people in from execs that could fix every problem that building has. And with the execs, you're being introduced to people that have 30, 40, 50 buildings in the tri-state area. So we come in as a team, and you know that you have great partners that you could refer that are going to do the right thing.
I love that. And every time I see you, you just seem like you know what you're talking about. You're with the program. You're always in shape. You're always dressed well. You always say the right things. How do you become such an excellent human being with such great integrity? Was it your father, or did you marry a good wife? Like, what was it that made you such an incredibly efficient human?
Well, first of all, thanks for that compliment. I do appreciate that. But, it wasn't always this way. I grew up, I worked on a roof. I've had many days where I wasn't happy. I was stressed out. Just like anybody else, you face challenges along the way. But I've come, after college, I was like, I'm done with studying and test taking. I'm done. I don't have to ever do it again. And I was obviously very wrong about that. So for myself, I'm constantly reading, listening to podcasts, and it's always different stuff, but a lot of it's based, how I can be a better boss, how I can be a better dad, how I can be a better person. I work on it every day, and it's not easy. And, again, I post a lot about my wife and my kids. I'm definitely not the perfect dad. I'm a work in progress. So I don't give up. I work hard, and I just want to be better each day. That's all I could say.
How do you prepare for the networking meetings at the Executives Association? For example, in like 2 weeks, we're going on a cruise. And you might be coming on the cruise, or we're going to an event at the Harvard Club or at a restaurant. What do you do to prepare for those meetings? Because I know you definitely are the type of guy that does prepare.
Yeah, so listen, I'm a big believer in, obviously I love being referred to new clients, but I love to give. And if you see what I do on, a lot of my social media platforms, you can see that I really do enjoy giving back or giving to others. So if I come across some of the execs members and I can help them, that's what I want to do. So, whether it's giving them advice on business or introducing them to one of my best clients, like that's really what I try to do. So my mind's always running, always working. So if I'm at a building or I'm with one of my clients and they tell me a need they have or a pain point that they have, immediately in my mind, I'm like, all right, I have a guy to fix that problem for you. So that's kind of how I prepare. I think about what's going on in the weeks leading up to those meetings, and I try to keep some notes on who I can help and how I could help them.
I love that. I love that. Looking at who's coming, seeing who you can help, and always adding value. What's some tips that you want to give people listening to this that you picked up over the years related to networking or related to showing up with good energy? Because, you have really good energy about yourself. You don't take things seriously, but at the same time, you take things.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, if you're going to commit yourself to something, commit, right? Because I can't tell you how many people tell me they joined an organization, but they don't show up, or they don't go, or they don't bring guests, or they don't participate. Well, what do you think you're going to get out of that? Nothing, right? It's like joining a gym and not going. Well, I'm still 20 pounds overweight. Well, you didn't go to the gym, right? You need to participate to lose the weight. So I just think that very often people get stuck in their business. And I mentor another company, one of the owners, and his biggest complaint is that I always did this in my business and it always worked, and now our business isn't doing good. And you need to change. You need to change things, constantly evolve. What worked 10 years ago is not going to work today. So you got to be on your toes, and you got to want it. You got to have the drive to keep going forward. And every day is not going to be a new client and a sale and everything's great. There's going to be a lot of days where you're down in the barracks, you're down in the weeds, and you're having a bad day. But those are the days you got to push through.
Yeah. And if you can push through those days, you're going to take one step forward. And that's really sometimes all you need for you to break through. That's really powerful. Is there anything else that you want to share with the world related to networking or business or life or you or your business or anything else?
The only thing I would say is this, right? Everybody's going through their own battles, their own struggles, whether it's business, personal. Stop looking at the people around you. Stop looking at your competitors, your neighbors. Focus on your mission and your plan. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter what anyone's doing around you. Just focus on your mission, your plan, and just know that what you're doing each and every day is going to work out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. If somebody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you, to refer business to you or do business with you?
They can probably get me on LinkedIn, Vincent Malizia, or they can email me at vincent@a1roofingny.com.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. This was a total pleasure of mine, and I'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Ready to expand your opportunities? If you enjoyed this interview and would like to know more and be part of us, join a trusted circle of New York City's top industry leaders. Apply to join EANYC today.